Thank you.
And my first glance is a bit of a cheat, actually, because you don't look a bit like this on screen. So
I know.
we know what you look like for real. Sorry, let's start with you. Tell us a little bit. The first book came out in 2005. Were you involved at that point or before that point? How did you?
We were involved before. Yellow Bird got the scripts before they were published. Just right after he died, the writer, he died in November the 9th of 2004, and we got in the beginning of 2005, we got the scripts of the 3 books, about 3,000 pages, and we read them, and we started negotiating with the publishing company to get these rights. We were not the only one who knew about this phenomenon. There were other partners too who was trying to get these rights, but we were very lucky and got them.
And what was it that made you think that this was going to be right for a big screen experience in the first place? Why was it that you thought audiences would be interested?
I think it's because it's broadened the crime genre in a very exciting way. I think so far, the main protagonists have always been a crime inspector, or very often. And this time it was a kick-ass heroine, who had a really talent. And we were looking for that. There was a feministic angle and focus, which was very exciting. That's why we wanted to do it.
Okay, well, let's talk to our kick-ass heroine then. Did you know of the books? Were you familiar with the books when you first got this part? And did it come with a kind of, there's quite a lot of expectation on your shoulders. Did you find it daunting taking on this project?
Yeah, actually, I read the book a couple of years before, and it felt like a suicide mission when they asked me to do the role. But it was I had to take a decision and just force everything away, and because the expectations were so high, and I just said to myself, it's not possible to satisfy everybody, so I just have to try to find my own personal Lisbeth and give her life.
And what did you do to prepare for her?
Well, I knew I had this clear picture in my head what I wanted to become in a way, and I wanted to transform my body and my look, everything almost into her, and I wanted to be a bit more masculine and a bit more like a tomboy. So I exercised. I trained a lot of kickboxing and Thai boxing, and I cut my hair and I pierced myself, and I took motorcycle driving license. So it was a lot of preparation for maybe 7 months before the shootings or something.
It's amazing. Were you anxious, either of you, were you anxious about the fact that the book is really, there's a lot of kind of sex and violence, the original title is Men Who Hate Women, and there's a very dark thread running through it. Were you anxious about that translating to the big screen? Did you think you were going to have to tone that down at all?
Well, I think it was extremely important to keep Stieg Larsson's energy and world and translate it into film. So me and Nils, the director, we talked very much about that the violence and the rape scenes and all those more difficult scenes have to be credible and realistic. We cannot do entertainment out of them. So it was extremely important to find a way to do it credible and to put it as close to reality as possible.
And you've both been involved in all 3. There are now 3. All 3 books have been turned into big screen feature films. Are you sick of her? Is she trailing you around now? Are you over her?
Yeah.
You're supposed to say no.
No, absolutely not. It's very exciting to be here, I must say. I'm not tired of this. To be in UK, and to see posters of your movie. It goes ups and down for producers too, but this is really exciting. I like to see posters. I like to travel all the time. I'm not the actress, but anyway.
Yeah, but I think it was more than a year since since we did the last scene in the 3rd film. But I've been traveling for a year or something all over with, talking about this film. And it's lovely, it's amazing, and I'm very happy, I'm very proud to be here today. But I'm pretty, I have done, other films after that, and so for me, she's pretty far away. She's not any longer in my body in that sense. But yeah.
Do you still find you're still getting these roles again? Do people still keep offering you the same sorts of parts? Kind of kick-ass?
No, I don't think so. I think, I don't think there are more roles like Lisbeth, actually. I think she's one in the kind. But no, I've done some totally different characters after that, so, yeah.
I've worked for 5 years, since 2005. That's
You were?
nice. I've worked since 2005.
He will carry on, you know,
And I'll carry
5
on.
more years, I promise you.
I will not do anything else.
Well, the film's got a life beyond this film as well, because of course there is going to be a Hollywood remake. How do you both feel about that? Because obviously that will be that will be one step removed from the work that you've done, the brilliant work that you've done on screen here. I mean, how do you feel about that?
Well, I think for me it's it's interesting to see what they do, but I hope they won't, because we try to be true to the book and to put the characters and the world so close as we could, to Stieg Larsson's universe in a way. And I hope they won't cut too much out of Lisbeth, because Lisbeth is a troubled soul, and she's complicated, and she's aggressive, and she's full of violence in a way. And I think it's extremely important that they don't do her too much, too cute or too charming in a way. Yeah, but it's interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, we won't change her that much. I'm also involved as a producer in the remake, and there are so many good things.
I told you 5 more years.
Told about this, And there's, whenever you attach very good talents and actresses and directors, they have their focus as talents, So we made a good version, the Swedish one, but you can have other angles on these books too, Unfortunately, he doesn't live anymore, so he can't write any more books. So this is exciting to get a lot of stories to be told from the books that we didn't tell here, more or less. Huh?
And were you always sure about how the adaptation was going to work? I mean, you, as far as I can see, you've made a very literal translation, which I was thrilled to see. Were you always aware of how the film was going to work as a film, as opposed to how it worked as a novel?
No, we didn't know that, how it would work. Of course, we were focusing on Lisbeth. Lisbeth has to be right from the very beginning. We didn't have to spoil that kind of a female, portrait, because he's so different from tradition of the cliches of women. So we had to keep to that, but we tried to be loyal to the book so far.
Well, do you think we should let them see it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, it's been a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you so much for introducing the film. Soren,
thank you for coming.